Okay, if anyone's in any doubt about sort of extremism I'm talking about coming from hard Brexiteers, let me just read this out and then talk about some of the issues around it. And just a disclaimer, no, I am not saying this is the mentality of all Leave people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is the mentality that is out there. So I'll read this out. It's BBC report from the 5th of April. A UKIP councillor has sparked a row over a Facebook post describing EU Remain voters as traitors who should face the death penalty. Swale Borough Councillor Padmina Nisanga's online post has been described as appalling and repugnant. At a council meeting on Wednesday, it was revealed all opposition members have received printed copies of the post. Council leader Roger Truelove is calling for her name to be removed from ballot papers for the local elections. Ms Nisanga posted the comments on Facebook in August, and opposition councillors recently received screenshots in their pigeonholes, the local democracy reporting service said. Mr Truelove of Labour is calling for Ms Nisanga, a UKIP councillor for the Sheppey East ward, to be taken off the ballot paper for the local elections in May if the post is verified by council officers. He told a full council meeting on Wednesday, the stuff that's on here is absolutely revolting. It's appalling and repugnant. And I'm going to read out the post here. There's a screenshot. This is from Padmina Nisanga, a UKIP councillor, an elected UKIP councillor, right? These traitors, block capital, must face a death penalty, just like Saudi Arabia. Millions of our people died during the two world wars to save this country for us. Millions of our children are homeless, nowhere to sleep. Hundreds of children being sexually abused by Muslims every single day. Because they cannot speak English, some judges let them go. She can't even spell properly. Biggest 15 cities and councils across the country include London and Birmingham, under control by Muslims. Bloc capital. Conservative Labour and Lib Dems called patriots are right wing and resist. Of course we are. We like our country, our own homes and children. Why the biggest traitor Tony Blair gave over £60 million to his children to start the property business. How did he find the money? Blair is the mass murderer and the leader of the traitors. Gave 3 million visas to foreigners. Now they're living with blood money. Michael Heseltine, the old monkey, worth 300 million and still getting 90,000 a year from the EU, but they are our taxpayers' money. We got Remainers. More than half of them are foreigners. What happened to our English people? Where are they going to live? That's a bit rich coming from someone from Sri Lanka originally. Um, Although I'll just make a point there, some of the most hardcore right wing people I've come across are actually minority people on the right. So that's kind of a interesting irony, I guess. We're all in favour of free speech, of course we are, but free speech has to be respect for people and standards of fairness. Miss Nisanga, who is originally from Sri Lanka, has suggested in another post that Remain voters should be hanged or attacked by gangs with huge machetes. She has said that Conservatives and Labour traitors should be wiped out. She also called former Labour Prime Minister a mass murderer. That's just repeating what I've read on Facebook. She said, yeah, I've read that. Defending her actions, Ms Nisanga said, "This is a democracy and if people don't agree, they don't vote for me. I'm very outspoken on Facebook, but this is because I'm very patriotic. I am not racist." Ms Nisanga, who is also a parish councillor in Warden, has said she was friends with former UN Secretary Kofi Annan. What can you say about someone like this? Firstly, if the comments about hanging and machetes are true, that is absolutely incitement to violence, and in my view, she should be arrested or at least under investigation. What a disgusting extremist. I mean, machetes, for God's sake. We're now marking the 25th anniversary, like I said in the previous video, of the Rwandan genocide, and whilst I don't think anything like that would ever happen here, machetes were the weapon that was used during that. And for her to want me to be hanged, because she's talking about all Remain voters, even by UKIP standards, that is extreme. If they don't kick her out of the party, I mean, what an arrogant extremist to not even show remorse. No, dear, you're not patriotic, you're a fanatic. What a vile woman. I mean, the points she's making about Tony Blair and so on, Mike, that's valid criticism. You know, prime ministers get criticised. But what makes her so odious is the fact that she thinks she can talk about so many of her fellow Britons. I assume she's got British citizenship now, in that way. And for her to talk about foreigners when she herself is from, she should have some empathy. It's absolutely repugnant. But that is the mentality of a lot of hard leavers these days, calling for violence. And I hope that reasonable Leave people in her constituency absolutely unreservedly condemn it. She needs to understand that this isn't normal behaviour. This isn't just being outspoken. This is calls for violence. And it's idiots like this. And she's clearly not very smart with the. I mean, a lot of that post isn't even very. I'm not one of these grammar fascists, but some of it just is sloppy writing, which indicates to me she's not the brightest tool in the box. So it's absolutely shocking. Even if there is violence leveled against Remain voters, then it'll be the likes of her that are to blame. I think she should be arrested, frankly, for inciting violence. You know, I wouldn't call for her to be arrested if it was just insulting, but they are specific calls to incite violence. If the allegations that she is suggesting that Remain voters get hanged and attacked by gangs with huge machetes is true, then that's absolutely disgusting.